Hey, you right there. Do you want to know about the Blitzkrieg? No, you don't. Yeah, you do. Well, I'm going to tell you. In World War II, Germany under Adolf Hitler's command conducted extensive bombing runs called the Blitzkrieg. The goal was to disrupt industrial production and to prepare for an invasion.
Hitler's chief weapon, complementing his grasp of such secrecy, bluff, and deception, was a form of swift, mechanized mobile warfare that the world had never seen before. This concept was called Blitzkrieg, or Lightning War, in which coordinate forces of armored panzer divisions, high-level bombers, dive bombers, and motorized infantry divisions would destroy enemy defenses in a sudden massive assault. The first shots were fired at Danzig in the Polish corridor, which cut East Prussia off from the Reich. Polish control of the old Hanseatic port had long been a source of resentment to the Germans, and Hitler saw a symbolic value in its repossession on the first days of war. On the morning of September 1, a German battleship with its powerful 11-inch guns were fired against the Polish fortress of Westerplatte, which guarded Danzig's harbor. This battle, in what was to become the first military engagement of World War II, simultaneously, 62 German divisions, supported by 1,300 aircraft, commenced the invasion of Poland. The decision of Adolf Hitler to invade Poland was a gamble. The Wehrmacht was not yet at full strength, and the German economy was still locked into peacetime production. As such, the invasion alarmed Hitler's generals and raised opposition to his command. In leaks of his war plans to Britain and France, Hitler's generals urged caution and asked for more time to complete the defenses of the West Wall, in order to stem any British and French counter-offensive in the West, while the bulk of the Wehrmacht was engaged in the East. Their leader dismissed their concerns, however, and demanded instead their total loyalty. Hitler was confident that the invasion of Poland would result in a short, victorious war for two important reasons. First, he was convinced that the formation of the world's first armored corps would swiftly defeat the Polish armed forces in Blitzkrieg offensive. Secondly, he judged the British and French Prime Ministers Neville Chamberlain and Edward Daladier to be weak, indecisive leaders who would opt for a peace settlement rather than war. The first shots were fired at Danzig in the Polish corridor, which cut East Prussia off from the Reich. Polish control of the old Hanseatic port had long been a source of resentment to the Germans, and Hitler saw a symbolic value in its repossession on the first days of war. On the morning of September 1st, 1939, a German battleship with its powerful 11-inch guns were fired against the Polish fortress of Westerplatte. This battle was to become the first military engagement of World War II. Simultaneously, 62 German divisions supported by 1,300 aircraft commenced the invasion of Poland. The decision of Adolf Hitler to invade Poland was a gamble. The Wehrmacht, the German army, was not yet at full strength, and the German economy was still locked into peacetime production. As such, the invasion alarmed Hitler's generals and raised opposition to his command, and leaks of his war plans to Britain and France. Hitler's generals urged caution and asked for more time to complete the defenses of the West Wall, in order to stem any British and French counteroffensive in the West while the bulk of the Wehrmacht was engaged in the East. Their leader dismissed their concerns, however, and demanded instead their total loyalty.
Neben die herrliche, ruhmreiche Armee, den alten, stolzen Waffenträger unseres Volkes, die nicht minder traditionsgefestigte politische Führung der Partei treten, und dann werden diese beiden Einrichtungen gemeinsam den deutschen Menschen erziehen und festigen und auf ihren Schultern tragen den deutschen Staat, das Deutsche Reich.
Blitzkrieg was an innovative and fast-moving type of warfare developed by Germans during World War II. Blitzkrieg battle tactics emphasized the use of tanks, aircraft, and mobility. Before the war, Germany perfected the Blitzkrieg while other countries were still preparing for World War I type trench warfare. The Blitzkrieg tactics gave the Germans quick success, even though the total forces arrayed against them was often numerically larger than their own. Now, the Poles, being courageous enough to go to war with Germany, felt confident they could hold out until Allied forces came to help. Their army, while large, was a World War I type army. It was almost totally non-mechanized. Other disadvantages were that the country was very flat, making it an ideal battleground for mechanized forces. Germany had also entered into a non-aggression pact with Russia, the only power in the region that could have provided practical assistance to Poland. Poland, therefore, had to keep an eye on their border with Russia.
39, the 1st of September was the first day of war. And I remember there are certain moments that are crystallized in your memory. They are etched so deeply. And I remember exactly the moment. I was sitting on a balcony, reading a book. And all of a sudden, I heard a thud, a tremendous thud, sound. And I saw planes circling above the city. I wasn't even afraid. I didn't know with what to associate this. But this was the day that the war started and the planes came over Poland. I did not know that they crossed the border at that moment. But I remember the planes and the thud. And it startled me. I got up and went to the room. This is something that is etched in my memory.
Loads and loads of planes, bombing planes coming one after, hundreds and hundreds of planes coming in, and Germans on motorcycles, horses, dragging cannons and the big tanks all over the place. It didn't take more than a couple of hours till they took over the country. Like I said, they couldn't assist. Denmark was a very small country. And life went on as before, except that you're not allowed to walk on this side of the street. In front of the bank, they would post soldiers with guns and steel helmets and things like that in front of the banks and the hotels and important institutions that they wanted to guard. But besides that, nothing happened really. The police was in force, and the Danish army was, although they were there, they had not much to say or to do, but they were all, life was continuing the way it was.
Mein Gewissen habe vertaufen müssen gegen die Verpflichtung zum Gehorsam, heute würde ich sagen Kadavergehorsam.
Ein Stück Leben wurde uns gestohlen. Anders kann ich das nicht sagen.
Im September hatten wir dann die ersten, zwei Toten in unserer Kompanie beim Angriff auf Pless. Da hatten die Polen eine Bunkerlinie und die sollten wir als Fußsoldaten, ich hätte fast gesagt, mit bloßer Brust nehmen, und das gelang uns nicht.